G'day guys, we're back here again with our Lenovo 500E Gen 2 Chromebook, and in a previous video, we removed the custom core boot firmware and restored it back to 100% stock ChromeOS. In this video, I thought we would try dual booting stock ChromeOS alongside Linux from a live Linux USB. The main benefits of doing this over flashing the custom core boot firmware is this does not require removing write protect, so you don't even need to open your Chromebook up. There's also apparently zero risk of bricking, since it just writes to a partition and not the actual BIOS itself. This does require enabling developer mode, which basically factory resets your Chromebook, making you lose everything on it. So if you do want to do this, make sure you've backed everything up. Not all Chromebooks support read-write legacy, so to start off, we'll see if our Chromebook's even supported. It's also worth mentioning we'll be doing absolutely everything on our Chromebook itself. No other device needed. We're over on our Chromebook now, and since we will need to add a Chrome extension, you cannot do this as a guest. You will need to sign in with a Google account. We've just opened up Mr. Chromebox's website, which I will link down in the description below. We'll click Get Started. On the left, we'll click Supported Devices, and we'll scroll down until we find our device. There is a search box at the top of this page. We'll click on that, and we'll enter our Chromebook model. I've just entered Lenovo 300 in the search box. Even though this is a Lenovo 500E Gen 2 Chromebook, you can see it does share the same device name. Since we'll be using read-write legacy today, we want to make sure there's a green tick in the RW Legacy Firmware box, and there is. So our Chromebook is supported. If we scroll through all the models though, you can see not all of them are supported. For example, the Google Chromebook Pixel from 2013 is actually end of life and not supported. So now we know our device is supported. Next, we'll create our bootable Linux USB flash drive. Let's go back to Google and we'll type in Linux Mint. On the results, we'll just click on download. We'll scroll down a little bit. And I want to download the XFCE edition since it usually runs a little bit faster on lower end hardware. We'll just click download, scroll down a little bit again, and just pick the mirror that's closest to you. They all host the same file. Once it's finished downloading, we also need to add the Chromebook Recovery Utility extension. So I'll go back to Google, type in Chromebook Recovery Utility. We want to click on the top link, Chrome Web Store. On the right hand side, we want to click Add to Chrome. Click Add Extension. Once it's added, before we open it, we want to go to our Downloads folder, and we do want to rename the Linux Mint ISO so it ends in .bin. We just right-click on it, go to Rename, click at the very end of the file name. We just want to press backspace 3 times to get rid of ISO, and we'll just type in bin. Once you've made sure it ends in .bin, just press Enter. Once that's done, we can close off our Downloads folder, click the Extensions icon in Chrome, and click on Chromebook Recovery Utility. Once it opens, click Get Started. We'll click the little settings icon at the top right, and click Use Local Image. Our Linux Mint.bin should now show up. If you didn't bother renaming it to .bin, then it most likely won't show up in this little window. Just double click on it. Next, we want to insert our flash drive. It doesn't need to be blank, but you will lose everything on the flash drive. So make sure if there's anything on there, you have backed it up. Plug it into our Chromebook. It needs to be a minimum of 4 gig. I'm using a 64 gig USB 3 flash drive here, just because it's the only one I have on hand. Once it's inserted, it should hopefully be detected by the Chromebook Recovery Utility. We can just click on Select and select our flash drive. So there it is there for me. Again, you will lose everything on it. Just keep that in mind. Once you've selected the correct flash drive, click Continue. It tells you that all data will be deleted. When you're ready, click Create Now. You can see it doesn't take too long. For me, it looks like it's going to be around 2 minutes. But once it finishes writing, it does verify the written data. That may take around another 1 or 2 minutes. Once it's finished writing and verifying, that's pretty much it. We can click OK, close off our Chrome browser, and we will power off our Chromebook. You can leave your flash drive connected to the Chromebook, that's fine, but now we want to enable developer mode. So as mentioned at the start of the video, this does wipe everything on your Chromebook. So before entering it, make sure everything on your Chromebook has been backed up. With the Chromebook powered off, we want to hold Escape, the refresh key, which is the 4th key in on the keyboard at the top left. On my Chromebook keyboard, the Escape key is at the very top left, and then it's the back key, forward key, and then the refresh key. So you want to hold down Escape and Refresh. While holding the 2 buttons, press the power button. Keep holding the escape and refresh key. From here, we want to hold down Control and press D and press Enter. So now OS verification is off. We want to hold Control and press D again. This should enable developer mode. There we go. It does give you a 30-second countdown, just in case you change your mind. So we'll just wait for that to finish. There we go. It's transitioning now. At the top left, there is a 5-minute countdown. It's usually done before it hits 0, but that should give you a rough idea of how long it takes. So it looks like it's almost finished. The timer at the top left has 7 seconds remaining, and it just turned off. So it looks like it does take the full 5 minutes. From here, we'll press Control D, and it should hopefully boot into developer mode. So it looks like it has, but I do just want to try one thing. We'll reset our PC, and on this screen, I just want to press Control U to see if I can get it to boot from our flash drive. It looks like it will not. We haven't enabled the boot flag, so that's probably what it is. We can just press Control D to go into developer mode. So from here, we want to click Get Started, and we do want to sign into our Wi-Fi since we will need internet access. So once you're connected to your Wi-Fi, we want to hold down Control, Alt, and press F2, which is the forward button on the top left of the keyboard. It goes escape, back, and forward. So press Control, Alt, and forward. Should take you into a shell. Log in with Chronos, CHRONOS. Perfect. Now we just want to download and run the Mr. Chromebox firmware utility script. I will put the exact command that you have to enter down in the description below, just to make it a little bit easier. Once you've correctly entered the command, you can just press enter, and hopefully I haven't mistyped anything. It looks like it worked. Just give it a second to load the script. Perfect, we're in. From here, we want to install or update the RW legacy firmware. As mentioned, this does not require removing the write protect. So on this Chromebook, that normally involves unplugging the battery, but for this, we don't need to do that, so that is good. Press 1 and enter. It just says you cannot use this to run Windows, that's fine. We'll press Y and enter. As mentioned at the start, apparently there's zero risk of bricking your device, since this doesn't actually reflash the BIOS. It just writes something to one of the ChromeOS partitions. If you wanted to remove the RW legacy firmware update, all you'd have to do is a fresh install of ChromeOS. It says it was successfully installed, so we'll just press enter, and we'll press R to reboot. When we're back on this screen, we want to hold down Control and press L. It says press a numeric key to select an alternative bootloader. I guess we'll just press 1. And that's the custom Coreboot logo. That's awesome. I didn't press anything in time on that menu, so we'll press any T to continue. We want to select alternate USB boot, and that didn't work. So this was my mistake. You were supposed to press escape when you saw the rabbit logo. So we'll power off our Chromebook, power it back on, press Control L again, press 1, press escape on this screen. Go down to boot menu, and we want to select our USB flash drive. So for me, it's just called USB disk 3.0. Press enter. There we go. Start Linux Mint. Apparently that grub menu that we saw earlier was just a leftover from ChromeOS, and it is non-functional. So if you get to that screen, you just have to power cycle the Chromebook, boot from USB once more using Control L, press escape when you see the rabbit, and then select your boot device. Nice and easy. It does take quite a while to boot from my live flash drive. It's been about 1 minute so far. That's not an issue with the Chromebook or the RW legacy firmware. That's just how long Linux Mint Live takes to boot. And here it is here, Linux Mint Live. One good thing about Linux in general is you don't need to use a live USB. You can actually install the full OS to a flash drive and run it directly from that. You are going to want to use a decent flash drive for that, just because the heavy read-write cycles can actually wear it out fairly quickly. I've made a video in the past running Linux Mint Live, but using the custom Coreboot firmware. Everything should be pretty much the same as that, so performance and drivers, everything like that. We won't cover that again, but we will just make sure our Wi-Fi works. So our built-in trackpad obviously works. Go to Wi-Fi, and yep, our wireless card was detected. We'll check the touchscreen. So the touchscreen doesn't work out of the box. Not a huge deal breaker, just something to keep in mind. It also looks like Bluetooth works. So we'll power off our Chromebook once more, go shut down. I won't remove the flash drive, we'll leave it in. Now it's off, we'll power it back on. And on this screen, we'll press Control D instead of Control L. This should boot us back into developer mode. And sure enough, it does work. You can't exit out of developer mode without removing the USB boot functionality, so that could be a bit of a drawback for some people. Apparently developer mode is a lot less secure than regular mode. That's also something to keep in mind. But yeah, it does work. So while I use one of these standard sized USB flash drives for this, which does actually stick out of the Chromebook a fair bit, you can see it here. It's sticking out quite a lot, and that would get snapped off if you left it connected, maybe in your backpack. But you can actually get really small flash drives that fit almost flush into the USB socket itself. This is a cheap $2 one from AliExpress. It's not very fast, and it probably won't last very long, but name brand ones do exist, like the Samsung Fit. If I plug this into the left USB socket, you can see how it almost sits perfectly flush. It is also possible to install Linux to the internal eMMC alongside ChromeOS, so you don't need any USB devices at all, but that is quite complicated. And since we only have a 32 gig eMMC in this Chromebook, it is soldered, not upgradable. That wouldn't leave very much free space for either ChromeOS or Linux. I think that'll do it for today. If you have any questions or comments, let me know down below. Otherwise, thanks for watching.